last night in Ufa, Russia. And this is our opening fight. Akshay of India comes with a very good record, 14 wins and 1 draw. Been campaigning at featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, up at light welter here. And that 1 draw came in his last fight. That was at lightweight in Hyderabad back in May against a 4-0 fighter called Ram Singh. All of his fights, apart from one, have been in India, and that one was in Dubai. They're scheduled for 6 at light welterweight, super lightweight. Either is fine.
Дамы и господа, приветствуйте на пути в золотой угол из Новосибирска, Россия, Egor Kozorezov!
20 years old, Kozorezov, from Novosibirsk. An international as an amateur, went to the European Under-22s last November in Montenegro. Went out early, but it's a good experience all the same. This, by my reckoning, his professional debut. Boxed in an amateur tournament in April in Kyrgyzstan. So he's been in action not too long ago. The differences between amateur and pro boxing now not as pronounced as they used to be, but it is still a shift. The big difference for him tonight will be the fact that he'll be boxing over 6 3-minute rounds. International amateur competition, 3 3-minute rounds.
Дамы и господа, нас ожидает 6 раундов бокса. Весовая категория 63,5 килограмма. Представляю участников этого боя первым боксера в черном углу. Ему 27 лет, его рост 173 сантиметра, а вес 63,3 килограмма. Его рекорд впечатляет. 15 боев, 14 побед, 1 ничья, 9 ярких побед нокаутом. Представляющий Рохтак, Индия, Akshay Chakha. Боксеру в золотом углу 20 лет. Его рост 171 сантиметр, а вес 63,5 килограмма. Мастер спорта, призер Кубка России, чемпион России среди молодежи из Новосибирска, Россия, Egor Kozorezov! Рефери боя Лука Вадилонга, Италия.
Okay, guys, watch your head, no punches back, no low blow, no holding, listen to my command, touch your gloves, good luck.
Luka Vadilonga, our referee, with the final instructions. Alexander Sodokov, our MC. Quite a difference between the two in age, as you can see there. Other than that, there's not a great deal between them. Chahal's a lot more experienced. He's had 15 pro fights, but he's not really been tested other than the draw in his last fight. The opposition has been limited, it's fair to say, and he's been scheduled for 8 rounds once. The rest of the time it's been at 6s and 4s, so despite the fact that he's had 15 fights to Kozorezov's 0 as a professional, I think he's a good choice of opponent. And the expectation will be here that Kozorezov will win this fight. Chahal just looking to try and come forward and wing in those hooks. He's set up nicely in the southpaw stance there, Kozorezov. He's in the white, Chahal is in the black. Boxed internationally for Russia as an amateur, and that tells you a lot. It's a very difficult thing to achieve, earning that Russian vest. Switching between stances there, now boxing orthodox. back to southpaw, and he does it very seamlessly. Just that adjustment of the feet as he's backpedaling is how he's done it a couple of times so far. Nice flurry there from Kozorezov. Chahal hasn't thrown too much in the last 90 seconds. Good jab, double jab there from Kozorezov. Nice and quick, came out quick, came back quick. Left-handed to the pit of the stomach there from Kozorezov as Chahal came forward.
Box.
So the first round down, and that will be a round in the bank for the man in the other corner, for Egor Kozorezov. Chahal staying on his feet in between rounds. And that was the marauding attack he launched early on. You look at the difference between the two of them technically, and Kozorezov is very correct. Just dips his knees there, shoots that long left hand out, right glove up to protect himself. Chahal, when he came forward, the feet crossed a bit. He comes quite square, quite tall, and just looks to let his hands go. If he's going to have any success with that, really, then he needs to try and keep the pressure on Kozorezov. He's got to try and keep that work rate high, throw plenty, back himself to walk through whatever's coming back at him and get to his man that way. And he's looking a bit more aggressive at the start of round two. And this is what he has to do, really. The left hand, right hand, rather, just put Kozorezov back onto his heels a bit more. He cannot give Kozorezov time to settle, because if he has it at range, this fight, or he lets Kozorezov establish a rhythm, then he will lose. He's got to make it uncomfortable for him.
Watch your head, guys.
That's what he's trying to do more in this second round. The challenge for Kozorezov now is to use that jab well, catch him on the way in. Keep this fight at the distance he wants it at, which means using that jab, that lead right hand. And this is better from Chahal. Not loads is landing clean from him, but you can say exactly the same thing for Kozorezov. It's a decent combination, though, then steps off to the right-hand side from the Russian fighter. Planting those feet wide, Chahal, giving himself a more solid base. Just right-handed to the body there from Chahal. Good right hand on the move there from Kozorezov. Just slipping off to his right, stepped off and threw it. Uppercut was the third punch of that three-punch combination. And Chahal will be encouraged by this round, I think. He's not been hit with anything particularly worrying. And as I said at the start of the round, to win this fight, he has to do it the hard way, which means accepting the fact that he's going to get caught with punches on the way in as he tries to get into the territory that he needs to be in. That's good, though, from Kozorezov, who has done the high quality work in this round. But he has to keep believing here, Chahal, that Kozorezov might just slow down because, as I said, he's used to three-minute rounds, not 6. We've done 2 here. So Chahal has got to try and keep that tempo high and ask those questions. There was that right hand. Touch with the jab then, as he was stepping off, just hitting with the right hand. And then switches really fluidly into the southpaw stance. He was clever that. He was set up orthodox, right-handed, so left hand lead, left foot at the front of his stance. Little double jab, just a peck. And through that right hand, brought his right foot round with it as he threw it, stepped off to the right at the same time as doing that, and that left him in the southpaw stance with the right foot at the front of the stance, which meant that he could all of a sudden go again. So there's quite a lot to like about Kozorezov. He's predominantly a southpaw, a left-hander, but again there he just moves so easily into orthodox. You do get fighters who like to make a big show of it, and sometimes they'll switch their feet, turn their feet around as they're coming forward, and that's dangerous. If you get caught mid-switch, basically you'll be standing square, and that's never where you want to be. In any sport, really, athletes never want to get caught with their feet square because you're just not very mobile. Your balance can go quite easily, and in boxing, that can be fatal if you get hit when you're not in a position to really soak up the blow, to be able to shift your feet and ride it, then you're going down. Nice uppercut there from Kozorezov. But again, Chahal continues to do the right thing here. He had a look in the first round, which was a fair enough tactic. I did wonder whether he might just try and cover up and get through, but he's trying to bring it to Kozorezov. It's not an easy thing to do, but as I said, for him, with his greater experience, he needs to just keep coming in an educated way as possible, and just ask questions of the stamina of Kozorezov. Believe that if he keeps that temperature high, he will wilt in the second half. There's no sign of it yet, but it can happen quite quickly. It's the final minute of round 3. We'll be at the halfway stage when the bell goes at the end of this round.
Hey, watch your hand. Box.
Nice right hand there from Kozorezov. Chahal was swinging a little bit wildly. A step off to the right and landed the left hand. It was kind of with the inside of the glove, but still he created a good angle there. And he does that well, actually, working around that front foot, just little steps to the left, to the right. As I say, what often happens is he'll be standing in one stand, he'll step off to the right into that other stance, and from there he can throw that kind of left hand. Chahal getting through with the right hand there. He did have some success in that round. He has had some success at times, but mostly the sharp, clean punching has come from the fighter in white.
Hey, go.
Nice right hand lead there from Chahal. Early stages of round 4, and he needs to try and make something happen here. There's no sign of him putting a dent in Kozorezov just yet. If anything of the two, Kozorezov is just slightly dialing things up here. Just short with the right hand, but he followed it in there, Chahal, and that's key, because as he comes forward there, you see his feet cross, but rather than losing his balance, he just walks in behind it, tries to get onto the shoulder.
Hey, step back, step back, step back, step back, no holding.
Good educated round this from Kozorezov. He's kept Chahal at bay without doing too much, really. Good use of the lead hand, the right hand, the left hand when he switches stance, and Chahal has found it difficult really to get too many punches off or put him under any real pressure. He's being manoeuvred around the ring. And again, just moves between the two stances there so comfortably. So into the 5th. It'll be interesting to see if Kozorezov can really crank things up in this final 6 minutes. He's not been hurt at any point, Chahal. Same for the Russian. Neither of these two fighters have been staggered. No one's looked at any stage like they've really felt anything that's landed on them particularly keenly. But you never know what might happen if you can just put some real pressure on, throw combinations, 2 phases of attack. Often it's not the first, second or third punch that gets through, it might be the 4th, the 5th or 6th. If Kozorezov is going to get to Chahal here, then he's going to have to provide that kind of sustained pressure, and he may be perfectly happy to box for 6 rounds exactly as he is here, and there would be nothing at all wrong with that.
To push Russia.
Into the final minute of round 5. And Charles just taking the centre here, trying to get on top of Kozorezov a bit more towards the end of the round. But he's a difficult target to pin down.
Watch your head, guys.
Nice flurry there from Kozorezov, but well defended by Chahal. Took it all on the gloves.
Step back, guys. Step back. Step back. No holding, guys. Die. Oi, come on.
Sixth and final round coming up. Top of the bill tonight, Artur Subankulov defends his IBA European title. Over 8 rounds. That's at lightweight. He's up against Roland Galosh of Hungary, who I saw quite a bit when he was boxing as an amateur at World Championships. Boxed at the Olympic Games in Tokyo. We'll get a look as well at Jambulat Bishamov at super middleweight, a Russian fighter, 1-0 as a pro. I remember seeing him in the World Championships in 2021 when he was a young man, not long out of the youths, where he'd done absolutely everything. And I was very impressed with him. He looked a terrific fighter. Lost his final against a very good Cuban fighter in Yoenis Hernandez. Hasn't had as much top-level competition since then as he would have liked. I think that's fair to say. The fight between Vadim Musayev and Paula Samavia for the WBA Asia Super Welterweight title as well. Chahal just sticking to his task here. He's diligently looked for openings in there against Kozorezov.
Hey, watch your head.
He's getting it a big effort, but he's just in there with somebody who is a superior fighter to him, technically, and in every way, really, and that's just how it goes sometimes. He came with a good record, as I mentioned, and I think he's been a good choice of opponent for Kozorezov. He's making a professional debut tonight. He's going to do 6 rounds. They've been boxed at a good pace. He's controlled that tempo for the most part, but Chahal hasn't just been in there to try and cover up and get through it. That left hand into the pit of the stomach, I think, just got to him a little bit there, Chahal. And if Kozorezov could put it on him here, I think he could have a big finish. It was that short left hand into the stomach. He kind of looked outside of the ring after it landed, and he hasn't really thrown anything since that got through. And he'll be keen to hear the final bell here, I think. Akshay Chahal. He's got himself back together now. You can see that from the movement of the head and the movement of the shoulders. But after that left landed, he just got that guard up and just looked to move. He didn't really look to throw, which I think it had winded him. And he was having to wait for those lungs to fill back up. In that situation, there's not really much else you can do. It's difficult sometimes to tell when a fighter has felt a punch because they are so good at hiding it. It's one of the requirements of the job. Final 10 seconds of what's been a decent show opener. There goes the bell, and that will be a win for Egor Kozorezov on points. And it was a good fight for him, as mentioned from the beginning. Akshay Chahal came here with some ambition. He came in shape, an unbeaten fighter. And Kozorezov got good value out of that.
Дамы и господа, прежде чем мы узнаем имя победителя, давайте поблагодарим обоих боксеров за этот ярчайший стартовый бой нашего вечера. И в этом бою единогласным решением судей победу по очкам одержал боксер из золотого угла Egor Kozorezov.
Kozorezov gets his hand raised, which is exactly what we knew would happen after witnessing that 6 rounds. But as I said, that's a good fight for him. Chahal was a good choice of opponent.